Spider-Man, Spider-Man does whatever a spider can. Good evening, guten Tag, good morning, one and all. Um, Welcome to this audio fan commentary on Spider-Man 2, the sequel to the first film directed by Sam Raimi. This one is also directed by Sam Raimi, released in 2004. I'm joined once again by Jack, the film fanatic. We did do a commentary on the first one a couple of days ago, and now we're going to do the second one. We will be going through the whole trilogy, so yeah, we hope you enjoy. Just to clarify, this is going to be a commentary on the theatrical cut of the film. We are aware there is an extended edition of Spider-Man 2 called Spider-Man 2.1, but I think we agreed that we'd stick to the theatrical cut. To be honest, it's the cut I prefer, personally. I have seen the extended edition, and the scenes that are added are interesting, but not all of them necessarily add to the plot. So, if you're happy, Jack, I'm quite happy to just stick to the theatrical edition.
Yeah, and the 2.1 version, like you said, they only added in 8 minutes, so it's not that much of an extended version, but yeah.
Yeah, but nevertheless, this is how I've always seen Spider-Man 2. I mean, it is my favourite Spider-Man film, just for the record, and it is, I personally think it is the best of the trilogy. So
yeah, I agree. Yeah.
So, as usual, this is not a commentary for profit. We are just doing this as fans, just for a bit of fun. We can't show the image of the film for legal reasons, but if you wish to follow along, put your Blu-ray or DVD in, timestamp to 0, and then when we press play, you press play. Hopefully that's easy enough to remember. Right, okay.
Can you explain that again?
Right, okay. So I think we've pretty much covered everything. So, Jack, is there anything else you want to say before we begin?
No, just mute your audio, put your timestamp to 0, and like you said, press play when we do. But yeah.
Right, this is going to be fun. Also, if you want to hear our commentary on the first movie, it is up on my channel, so do click along to that, and please subscribe to Jack and myself. We have both actually reviewed all of these movies as well. Okay, right. Without further ado, Jack, would you like to do the countdown, or shall I do it?
I'll let you go.
Okay, if you insist. 3, 2, 1, play. Right. Much like the first one, this one begins in exactly the same way, with the title sequence, although it is slightly different, but the music is exactly the same.
Colombia.
Yeah. Every time I see that, I always was reminded of these films. I just love the way that these films open with this title sequence. And actually, I think this title sequence is probably the best of the three, because they show you a recap of the first film, but done in like comic book frames. And unlike the Hulk movie that Ang Lee made, it actually works because it's a title sequence, not the actual movie.
Oh yeah, I love the fact that it's in red this time. It's quite nice.
Yeah, I agree. Actually, I don't know. There's just something more appealing about it, isn't it?
I like the drawings in it this time. Didn't have that in the first one.
Yeah, it's a brilliant title sequence, and I love the use of fonts and the colors. And yeah, it is like it's a comic book, and there's a lot of artwork, and it's really good. Yeah. And if people hadn't seen the first film, they could sort of roughly gather what it was about, judging by this. Although it's very scatey, you do need to watch the first film, but it was a nice way to recap the first film, to kind of show that these films are like one narrative.
Yeah, really great drawings as well. I mean, funnily enough, that parody Spider-Plant Man, they did a really good recreation of this title sequence, like a parody version, like a drawing of Rowan Atkinson in the title sequence. Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny because I remember when I saw this in the cinema, I got so excited. And when I saw these drawings, I was actually amazed. I was 7 years old when I saw this, and I was just like, wow, this is brilliant. And I remember looking forward to this one a lot because I really loved Dr. Octopus as a villain in the cartoon series.
Yeah, I saw it in the cinema as well. I saw it with my dad and my brother, and I mean, I'd seen the first one on DVD, but I mean, seeing the second one in the cinema, I mean, I was just amazed by it. I mean, my brother and my dad and I loved it. Like, we all thought it was great, and it was a great film to see in the cinema. I mean, I think it was the first superhero film I saw in the cinema. Yeah, I think it was. Yeah,
it might have been mine as well. I mean, unless I did see the first one in the cinema, but I just can't remember.
Yeah. No, I definitely know I didn't watch the first one in the cinema, but I did see the second and the third one in the cinema. But yeah, I mean, this title sequence is great. I mean, whoever did the drawings for it, I mean, really great job.
Yeah, and that's the thing with the first movie; they had no drawings to use. They just had to use their own CGI, so it felt a bit long-winded. But this felt very quick, actually.
I'm glad the title sequence isn't as long as the first one.
And it's funny, all three of these films kind of have a similar opening. They all open with Tobey Maguire giving his monologue.
I too have a job.
I like the transition from the drawing of Mary Jane to the billboard.
What I like is that this film is more dramatic and a bit more serious than the first one, but it still has time to have a bit of a goofy sense of humor. Like this guy, Mr. Aziz, the pizza owner, he's quite funny, actually. Like the way he talks, he's just got such passion in his voice. And when he says, "Go!" I mean, that's become a meme now, but
yeah,
I always found him quite funny.
I don't know why for the 2.1 cut they changed that bit where he says "Go!" Like they used an alternate take. I'm like,
yeah, I don't know why they do that. Sometimes extended editions use alternate takes, but I like the take the way it is. And I like the fact that this film opens like as if, you know, viewers would have seen the first one. So we know that Peter's he's now out of school, he's got a job, and he's trying to kind of live almost 2 or 3 lives, really. He's a pizza delivery guy. He's studying at university, and he's being Spider-Man. And it's, you know, this film is about him and his life crisis, and him trying to find out how to balance his life. In a way, it's quite a relatable story, really, even though this is a superhero movie.
Yeah. You know, I don't get. I mean, I know he's going on the bike and everything, but he is Spider-Man, so he could just, you know, like earlier delivered the pizzas, but yeah.
I love that guy says that. Yeah, he stole that guy's pizzas. The fact that he never questions that, that could be the same guy. No.
A pizza man. Well,
do you think, did they change the suit for this film? Well, they sort of changed the color of it, haven't they?
I don't. Yeah, maybe they have. I don't know.
They're sort of dark blue.
Yeah. I love that. It's like something out of the Christopher Reeve Superman films, like, you know, no playing in the streets. I like he's got a pizza slice and then he steals that off him.
He steals it back. I think you're right. I think there is an element of influence from those Superman films, and also, yeah, just the comics as well. Sam Raimi kind of, you know, used that, and I think combination of the two creates for this movie. But I mean, at least he didn't go on talking about how, you know, the subway is the safest way to travel and all that. Oh, God.
Oh, God, yeah. In Superman 4, that was a bit embarrassing, you know. I just want everybody to know that our subway is the most safest form of transportation. Thank you.
Isn't this weird, though, how Peter enters from the janitor's closet? I never got that. Like, surely she would find that suspicious.
Yeah, I would find it suspicious as well.
You know, this is why that pizza places should never have a guarantee, because you just lose money. You know, why do that? I know it's efficiency. They want to prove that they're really good, but you know, he's just going to lose money on his company, you know, by doing that.
It's just stupid as well. I'd be saying, you know. I agree with you. It is stupid. It's like, you know, who has this, you know, time limit, you know.
It's funny. I remember I've got the game for this film, and there's actually a part where you have to deliver pizzas. It's actually really quite funny, but you've only got like 3 minutes to do it.
You're fired.
He says that to him every time he comes in. It's like, you're fired, you're hired, you're fired, you're hired.
I think he's probably the funniest in this film. Like, you know, it's just so hilarious. And
yeah.
Too.
I like him in Spider-Man 3 as well with the pill scene, but I think you're right. This is the funniest, and he gets the most to do here because his son is sort of a part of the story who he's dating Mary Jane, but yeah, he's just flawless.
Oh yeah, thanks for the good news.
5 minutes to deadline, Jonah. You know that guy that just pops into frame? That's actually Sam Raimi's brother.
Oh, really? No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, the guy with the glasses, Ted Raimi.
Yeah, I think he's in the whole trilogy, isn't he?
Yeah. I can't remember if he was...
That's outrageous. Done. I love that.
And you know, it's funny because they treat Peter Parker like such a real person, you know. It's not like Superman where he's an alien from another world. This guy he's a normal guy. He's a citizen. He's got bills and loads of things to worry about. He's independent and he's struggling in life. He really is struggling. And this film is almost even more of a coming of age story than the first one. He's trying to stand on his own 2 feet, which I think is really a great story. I mean, this was a great follow-up. I mean, the fact that, you know, they chose to go from the Spider-Man No More comics, I thought was a good idea.
Yeah. Dr. Connors. No, he looks a bit like Steve Colbert.
Yeah. I love the effect on his arm. The fact that they've green screened his arm out.
Oh, who? Dr. Connors?
Yeah, Dr. Connors.
Yeah. Why have they green screened his arm out?
Because that's how he is. That's how the character has been. He's lost his arm.
Oh right, yeah.
Because remember in the Amazing Spider-Man, I know it's a reboot, but he's trying to regrow his arm, and I think that Sam Raimi said he wanted to use the lizard with this actor, you know, Dylan Baker, turning into the lizard, and that would have been a very interesting way to go, I think, in the 4th movie. But sadly, they cancelled the 4th one. But never mind. He's pretty good in his small part in Spider-Man 2 and 3.
Yeah. No, it is kind of a shame. It's kind of like the same situation with the Tim Burton Batman films. Like Billy D. Williams played Harvey Dent in the first Batman film. I think he was in Batman Returns, but they're going to have him in the 3rd Batman film. Tim Burton directed it. They were going to have him as Two-Face, but that never happened. It was a shame, but yeah.
It's unfortunate.
He's got a party.
Yeah, with what, 3 people?
Yeah, I know.
And then again, it's funny, I suppose, because Peter Parker's never been the most social person. Yeah.
Is it me? But like, Kirsten Dunst's hair, it looked a lot more red in the first Spider-Man film. Here, it looks like more gingery. Like, don't know whether she dyed her hair.
I think she's naturally a ginger, but they sort of put it more to like red in the first one. But maybe they just wanted to change the look for the second one. Maybe it was to do with her age, perhaps. I don't know if, I mean, sometimes, you know, hair changes with age. I don't know how it works with women, but unless she just dyed her hair. But yeah, no, you're right.
Bloody hell, this was 16 years ago.
Yeah. It doesn't get old though, this film. I must say, it doesn't feel like it's 16 years old.
Yeah. It doesn't feel like 16 years since I saw it in the cinema, but yeah.
It's funny how Harry's kind of very different in this film. He's much going down a much darker path and heading towards his his revenge plot, which will sort of come to fruition in Spider-Man 3. But yeah, there's a lot of tension in this film between Peter and Harry.
He finds out that Peter's Spider-Man in this one. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and it's nice that they gave Aunt May a bit more to do as well. The fact that she's struggling to pay the bills and she's having to, she's being evicted. And yeah, they don't touch on it too much, but it's just, shows more of the repercussions of Uncle Ben's death and how 2 years on, they're still trying to find their feet, both Peter and Aunt May.
Yeah. And you feel bad for her because she's just an old woman,
Yeah. But I think they've never done the relationship between Peter and Aunt May better than in these films. I mean, I don't mind Marisa Tomei in the MCU, but she's too young for Aunt May. I don't know. I mean, not even that. It's just the sexualization of Aunt May is just weird. It's just really weird.
And not only that, it's just you never get any nice moments between her and Peter like you do in these Spider-Man films.
Yeah, it's probably because the MCU just play it all for laughs.
Yes, you can. You can take this.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of sad.
Oh. And it's funny because later on there's a scene where he does tell her the actual truth about what happened that day when Uncle Ben died. She doesn't know that he went to the wrestling ring. So I mean this film is a really good, strong continuation after the first one. There's great drama in this film, I think.
Yeah, it improves upon the first one as well.
Yeah. I mean, the first one was great, don't get me wrong, but it is more goofy. Probably the goofiest of the three. But this one sort of strikes the right balance, I think, whereas I think the third tries to go a bit too dark, and then it's a bit campy as well, so it kind of has its cake and eats it. But I mean, the third is still enjoyable, but this is the most grounded of the three.
Yeah. That sounds so pervy. That's great. I get to see you every day now.
Yeah. I don't get MJ in this film. Like, she's trying it on with him. Like, and then she just tells him, "Oh, I'm seeing someone. Oh, I like him." It's like, what the hell? You either like Peter or you don't. And when did she meet Jameson's son? That's what I want to know.
It's like she's giving Peter mixed signals. Like at the end of the first one, she just came out and said, "I love you," and then he's like, "No, sorry," and then it's like she's trying it on again with him because she still, I guess, loves him, but then she's going out with someone else. It is a bit weird, yeah.
Yeah. And then she was with Flash in the first one. She was with Harry as well. She can't live without a man. It's totally ridiculous.
Yeah.
And then in Spider-Man 3,
making omelets in the next one.
Oh god, yeah. Well, I mean, we'll get to Spider-Man 3, and that's probably going to be the most fun, actually. Thinking about it now.
Yeah, it'll be weird to commentate over the scene where he's dancing down the street.
Yeah.
Get on up.
I mean, I just find that scene funny, but we can definitely talk about that when we do the third film's commentary. But
I'm seeing something.
yeah, it's like, okay, I'm just seeing someone. Yeah. I like him.
Why'd she touch his face as well? I don't get that. You got a boyfriend,
I think she knows that the Peter still loves her, but for some reason he won't go there I don't know if she's trying to work out if he does still love her. But I don't know. Whether she just can't decide who she wants.
You're coming? You're coming?
But the thing is, she's way too harsh on Peter in this film because he misses the play, and then he's trying to like talk to her about it, and then she doesn't appreciate his situation, you know, and she just totally brushes him off, like, my best friend who cares so much about me can't make it even once to my play. She's a bit stuck up in this film, MJ, I think.
Oh yeah, this guy.
Oh yeah.
And his daughter like fancies Peter.
Oh yeah, it's a very attractive daughter, might I add. Mr. Dickovich. I kind of like that this guy actually ends up turning out to be quite a nice guy in the third film. I mean, he is a bit of a prick, you know. But in the third film, he does sort of, like, him and Peter do sort of get along a bit better, which is nice. And yeah, because his daughter fancies him, so.
God. Hey, Pete, and she just lights the whole thing up.
I suppose it's kind of sad to see him in this sort of crummy apartment where he's having to kind of share a room and kind of, yeah, live in a really sort of cheap apartment. But I mean, he's, you know, bless him.
I suppose he can't live with his Aunt May or something. I don't know, but
yeah, well, I mean, I suppose, well, he's meant to be younger than he looks, doesn't he? So he's at the age where he's trying to find his own feet in the world, and he's struggling to do that a bit.
Yeah.
Rude.
He's a bit of a prick as well, the way he just steals the money off his hand. Like, Aunt Meg gave him that money, and, you know, he just didn't give a shit.
Yeah. To be fair, I suppose he would have put it towards the rent anyway. I mean, he kind of needs the money.
Here he is, Dr. Octopus.
Oh,
Octavius.
What perfect casting. Alfred Molina as Dr. Octopus is just fabulous. I mean, what I love about him is that he's not a villain. Like, he becomes a villain due to the psychological element of the arms, but like in this scene, you just see he's just a nice guy. You know, he's a nice guy who unfortunately fell victim to his own science experiment that went wrong, and he loses his wife, which is tragic. But yeah, Alfred Molina plays the part very well, I must say.
Yeah, no, I agree. I thought he was perfect casting. Yeah. I mean, funnily enough, he's English, but he's putting on an American accent.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. Yeah, he does do quite a convincing American accent.
Yeah.
I like some of his lines, like that one when he says intelligence is a privilege, not a gift. Yeah.
Yeah.
Understand you use harmonics as atomic frequency. Sympathetic harmonic reinforcement. An exponential.
No, he is a great character, and yeah, like you said as well, he's kind of a tragic character later on when he becomes the villain, because, you know, the arm sort of changes personality and he becomes a bad guy, and yeah, it's kind of sad as well because he's got, like, you know, he's got a wife and stuff, I think, so, you know.
Yeah, bless her. Yeah, Rosie. Yeah, she tragically dies quite early in the film, but
Otto's done his homework.
Yeah.
Come to the demonstration tomorrow.
Oh God, that's the same actress from, I think, Star Trek Insurrection, the one Picard falls for.
oh, is it? I never realised that. Oh,
I love older women.
yeah. I do happen to prefer older women. Oh God. Star Trek Insurrection was a mess of a movie. I mean, I like the soundtrack and I like some of the set design and stuff, but that's it. The stupid plot about them traveling to find a new home, like, just beam them up to the fucking Enterprise and fly them in that way. They just trek around the mountains for no reason. I mean, I know Star Trek, but I didn't mean it literally, you know.
Your rant on that was quite funny when you were doing the Patrick Stewart bit where you're like, oh, I prefer older women.
And he's doing that Sama dance, and he's going, "Oh, Mexican."
The bit where he's like, British ship. Dun, dun.
Oh, God. There's a lot of issues with that film. I mean, perhaps we'll do a rank commentary on it one day, but yeah, not one of the best Star Trek films as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, give me Star Trek 2 or Star Trek 6 any day.
Yeah.
Over that crap.
I mean, that being said, they are making another Star Trek film, which is good. I mean, it was cancelled at first, but now it's back. So, and it will be a sequel to Star Trek Beyond, so that will be nice. But yeah, it is a shame.
I'm glad. I'm glad it didn't end on a trilogy, but
yeah, it would have been a shame if it did end there. But very sadly, obviously, Anton Yelchin passed away just before the film's release. He was very young as well, bless him, very, very young. But so I don't know if they're going to cast a new Chekhov. I doubt. I mean, they may not even have Chekhov in it, which would be interesting. But I guess we'll see how it goes.
That music's weird.
Yeah. Oddly enough, though, it does fit the scene.
Yeah.
You know what? I think this is Tobey Maguire's best performance as Spider-Man and Peter Parker. He nails it in this film.
Yeah, I agree. Oh, that's what she's going to say, the importance of being earnest.
Yeah. Rand.
Oscar Wilde.
It's funny how Mary Jane is getting some success, but yeah, Peter's just not having much luck. And then in the third film, it reverses around. She has a bit of bad luck. She gets let go from a play, and then he gets a lot of fame as Spider-Man. So, yeah.
Is the third one? It's wonderful. That one.
Yeah, it's wonderful. So they say. I mean, I know Kirsten Dunst is acting, and she's trying to put on that Mary Jane isn't actually that good, but I actually don't mind her singing. I mean, at the end of the film when she's singing in the club, I don't mind that. That's actually quite nice.
God, him going around in his stupid helmeted scooter.
Yeah, not for much longer.
Oh, whoa! How did nobody notice that? Come on.
Work out, plenty rest, you know.
That's what I was saying. I just never actually remembered.
How did they not suss out that he must be Spider-Man with like reflexes
Yeah.
like that?
I mean, considering Spider-Man does appear literally in a second, it's like, yeah, a bit convenient, isn't it?
I don't know. Eat your vegetables.
That bit always confused me when I first watched it. I was like, what the hell? And then, yeah, because it's quite hard to see that web, actually, until the camera moves around like that.
Yeah.
He's going. Okay, how's he thin enough to get through that lorry? I mean, come on. Yeah. Also, the CGI is a lot cleaner in this film.
Yeah, that's true. I think the CGI here is better. Spider-Man doesn't look as rubbery as he did in the first one.
Yeah. I actually do think they have changed the suit a bit, because, I mean, in the first one, it did look a little more blue. I mean, well, I don't think it was that much different, but this suit looks slightly darker. But,
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a major difference, but...
I mean, no.
Yeah. It's Kirsten Dunst trying to do a British accent.
Yeah. Whatever.
Shoelace.
Oh yeah, Bruce Campbell's cameo.
Yeah, I love his cameos. I think my favorite cameo was his cameo in the third one. That's just hilarious.
Oh, it's when he's the maitre d' in the restaurant and he's putting on the French accent. That's quite amusing.
Miss Watson, she's a friend of mine. She asked me to come.
But not to come late.
Ooh.
See the show. And just let me in. I'll stand in the.
Oh dear.
He's a bit of a dick.
Yeah. And this random woman. It's so random. It comes out of nowhere.
Well, did she just come up with that theme or something? Like,
Yeah. Spider-Man, Spider-Man. Oh my god.
it's like the For Your Eyes Only cover. For Your Eyes Only.
Oh god. Imagine if Wei Lin started doing that in Tomorrow Never Dies. Do, 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 do. No need to fear, James Bond is here.
Oh god, do you remember the? I mean, talking about the Spider-Man suit. I mean, the one in the Amazing Spider-Man was terrible. I agree with Chris Stuckman. The one in the first one looked like a fucking basketball. Just terrible.
Yeah, it's like the leather. They'd taken the leather off a basketball and just stuck it on the Spider-Man suit, and yeah, like the eye holes as well. The sort of the gold on the front. It just didn't work. Thankfully, they changed the suit for the second one, and they did improve it. But yeah, by then it was too late because I mean the second film sucked. So.
Yeah. The way she looks back there, like, did she know Peter was there or something? I don't know.
Oh, who knows? And this is where it all starts going wrong.
It's Superman. Sure.
Yeah. It's Spider-Man. It's funny, like how these films came out in the early 2000s, and it kind of owes a debt, and owes sort of pays homage to those first two Superman films in sort of some of the tone.
Yeah, especially the scene where he, like, in the first film and in the second film, where he pulls his shirt open and you see the Spider-Man logo. I think that's a different callback to the Christopher Reeve films, because you always saw in the first few Superman films he would just pull his shirt off and you see the Superman logo. But yeah.
Yeah, and the third Spider-Man film definitely borrowed some story elements from third Superman. I mean, there are parallels. I mean, obviously there are comics in Spider-Man where he does come across the symbiote and the black suit, but yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the bad version of Superman. You got the bad version of Spider-Man. Yeah.
Yeah. Surely Peter must have hurt his back a little bit from falling on the ducting.
I love this scene where he's in the lift. It's so funny.
Yeah. I'm not going to lie. I think they've ruined the scene in the extended cut. They actually make the scene longer in the extended cut, and it goes on too long. They had it fine just the way it was.
Yeah. Nice suit.
I made it.
I have to say, out of all the Spider-Man suits, that is my favorite one. I mean, I like Tom Holland's ones, but I think it's definitely. I mean, I think it's aged the best as well out of all the suits. So iconic and awesome.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with you. I don't think the black one's that bad, but clearly, I mean, this one to me will always be the most iconic suit for the movies. And actually, I was very impressed the fact that in the game, the new PS4 game, you could actually play Spider-Man with that suit. You had a variety of suits you could use, and I always chose the Raimi one because it was my favorite.
Yeah, same. I mean, when I think of Spider-Man, I think of that suit, like from the Raimi films. God, I mean, look at those wall of posters. Like, why is there like a wall of posters of her? Like, surely one or two, not a fucking wall.
Yeah, that is a bit overdone. Like they just put this whole entire row of Mary Janes on the wall. I mean, I know it's meant to be a thematic, like a symbolic thing. It's trying to rub it in his face that he missed the play, but like it's a bit over the top.
Yeah.
I mean, she's living in a nice apartment.
Yeah. Being a bit bitchy. Like, the way she just sort of tosses the key to look in her face, like, yeah, fuck you, Peter. Like,
Yeah. Yeah,
Just answer the phone, just answer the phone and talk to him for God's sake.
yeah. She doesn't. That's the thing. She doesn't realize his situation, the fact that he's juggling so much in his life, but she just thinks he was being an arsehole for just missing the play and just had an excuse to be late or whatever. But yeah, sad. I mean, I think in the end of the film, she obviously realizes.
Yeah. Oh, come on.
It's sad the fact that he has to resort to payphones and that to talk to her. He doesn't have his own one.
Weird, huh? Weird, huh? Now you know why I can't be with you. If my enemies.
Why the fuck would he tell her that?
Yeah, well, he's not. I mean, the phone is cut out, but
Never forgive me.
I think he's just thinking about what he would say if he did have to tell her. Which is sad,
Yeah.
really. Yeah.
I feel bad for him because, like you said, he's got all this shit in his life they used to juggle, and
Yeah. I mean, if his uncle was around, it would be a different story. His uncle would be helping him a lot more, but Aunt May kind of has her own issues to deal with, and Peter's trying to stand on his own 2 feet. But
isn't Harry like funding Dr. Octopus, like Otto
Yeah.
Octavius? Yeah.
yes, Oscorp are providing the Oscorp pay the bills, as they say.
Yeah.
I really like this scene. I think this demonstration scene is pretty good, and it's interesting to see how he actually explains the science behind the arms. The fact that there is like an emotional inhibitor installed that can almost manipulate the person using them. Like, but it must hurt when he puts them on, and like, can he not? I suppose he can't take them off, can he?
Yeah. And it looks like it goes right into his spine. I mean, that must really like hurt.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
It's like
Bloody
acupuncture.
hell.
Ooh.
Yeah. Fucking hell.
Oh, God.
Bloody hell. It looks like he wants to yell out in pain.
Yeah. It's clever how he's just basically sending out brainwaves to them, to the arms. I like how they treat the arms like they're just like they're living organisms, like which is really cool.
Yeah, I like the fact that the arms sort of have a mind of their own, and they sort of change him.
Yeah, I think it's more. I mean, obviously, yeah, the Green Goblin was a great villain, but it isn't quite as over the top as that. But yeah, I mean, I don't know about you, but I had the toy for Dr. Octopus and for Spider-Man for this film. I used to play with them quite a lot when I was a kid. Did you?
No, I didn't have the toy, but I did have like a Spider-Man toy and a Venom toy when I was younger, which I used to play with because of these films. But yeah.
Instead of them controlling me. And now on to the main event.
Yeah, I remember when I was younger, like I said in the last commentary, like there was these old cables lying about. My dad tied them around me, and I just pretended I was like Dr. Octopus, which was fun as a kid. But yeah,
Quite a clever idea, actually. I never thought of that. I suppose my dad would never have let me play with cables when I was that young, but yeah.
Well, no, they were like just like cables with no wiring in it, so it wasn't dangerous or anything. But yeah.
Happy to pay the bills, Otto.
I love that look on Otto's face when he says, "I'd like to thank Harry Osborn," like as if he's like he doesn't like the fact that Oscorp are funding his project for some reason. But yeah,
I think he thinks maybe Harry's trying to take the credit or something. Like, yeah.
yeah.
Fasten your seatbelts.
I mean, Harry seems to be really sort of up his own arse about the whole thing, like kind of smug about it.
Yeah,
He's funding, yeah.
yeah. I mean, he's been left his company, isn't he, by his dad, and he's already rich. But I think, yeah, Harry's in it for the money. Let's be real here.
Successful fusion reaction
And probably he's in it as well, just to sort of boast that he helped fund this thing.
Yeah. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you know the actor that there's an actor that plays the assistant who says, "Doctor, we have a successful fusion reaction." Is that guy Sulu from Star Trek, the new Star Trek?
It could be. I need to see him again on screen.
Mm.
Yeah.
That was a great shot. That having the sort of the light in his eyelid representing the sun. I thought that was really good.
Yeah. Whoa.
Oh, it's Tobey Maguire.
I feel bad for anyone who had braces. You'd probably be pulled towards that magnet.
Oh god, yeah, they should have done that. They should have had somebody in as an extra with braces. Yeah, how does Harry not work it out that he's Spider-Man?
That'd be funny. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, actually, it might be the guy from Star Trek. Actually, yeah, the guy played Sulu.
Maybe. I'll look it up at some point.
If so, that's 2 Star Trek actors in this film. Oh, Spider-Man saved his life.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that he saw Peter leave surely should arouse suspicion.
When he said this doesn't change anything, he just saved his life.
Yeah. Even though Spider-Man didn't kill, even though Peter didn't kill his dad, Again, you could move out of the way.
At the same time, where was she gonna go?
True.
Oh, shit.
I mean, I suppose, yeah, all right, okay. It was done in slow motion, and it was meant to be a shocking moment. So I guess she was sort of in shock.
Yeah, but I mean, I think the glass was heading towards her anyway. So I think if even if she had moved, she probably died. But yeah. Oh shit.
That was a pretty intense sequence, actually, I must say.
You know the bit on the back of the... I think that means he doesn't have control anymore, does it? Because that thing in the back fried. But
yeah, the emotional inhibitor's gone, so now the arms start taking him over and turning him evil, which is a nice idea because it adds a bit of psychological torture, really, into the character. I mean, also the fact that his wife just died, that doesn't help. But yeah. And then obviously Peter has to convince him in the end that he should tell the arms what to do and not the other way around.
Yeah.
And now we get pretty much the scariest scene in this film. This hospital scene is like freaky as fuck. I was terrified when I saw this in the cinema, but I realize now that it was kind of harking back to Sam Raimi's Evil Dead movies. I mean, I've never seen the Evil Dead films, but people have said that about this scene, that he was trying to kind of make it horrific like that. I mean, what do you think of this scene?
Oh yeah, this is a pretty dark scene. Then of course the arms come to life and but what are they gonna do? Like saw? Oh shit! Whoa!
Jesus! I mean, the screams are just terrifying.
Yeah. That is some pissed off calamari.
Oh my god.
Whoa. Whoa. That is pretty dark. Yeah.
I mean, it says a lot that obviously, like, even the chainsaw can't cut the arms off. So, I don't know whatever metal it is that they're made of, but it must be pretty impenetrable.
Pretty dark for a superhero film.
Yeah. Look, it's Ang Lee's Hulk all over again. You've got 4 of the same shot in frame. Oh,
Sulk.
sulk. Yeah, it is a fucking sulk. Oh, God. Harry's going to do a rant on it, which he said I inspired him, which was very nice of him.
Yeah, maybe I might rant on it someday.
Yeah, brace yourself, lad. I'll tell you that. You be in for a long sit through.
You said it was boring.
Very boring. No!
Oh shit!
That's the thing.
Put a
Like,
shirt on.
yeah. With Norman Osborn in the first film, The Green Goblin, he was genuinely a prick. This guy he's a nice guy. Just he's a failed experiment gone wrong. Yeah.
I think even when I watched like the Spider-Man cartoon, Doctor Octopus was like my favorite character.
Yeah, I think he is just the most iconic Spider-Man villain. I mean, in the cartoons, obviously, he's much more over the top and more like a mad scientist. But in here, they've really humanized him quite a lot, I think, which is great.
Yeah, I love this scene.
What are the odds?
What are the odds?
That's
That's
crap.
crap. Dr. Octopus.
Genius.
Yeah, some of the best scenes in this trilogy are with him.
Oh, what, are you looking for a raise? Get out.
Get out. You're fired. Oh, this is brilliant.
You're on fire.
One of the best bits. When he laughs. My son, the astronaut. Oh, that laugh. Brilliant. Oh, God. I mean, thank God they never recast that character for The Amazing Spider-Man. I'm actually really glad they didn't actually put him in there because, well, I mean, he would have made the films better, but I suppose the scenes wouldn't have been as great. But I'm glad they brought him back for Spider-Man Far From Home. He had his cameo at the end. But I mean, and if he is going to be back in the next one, that would be good. But he's just so damn funny.
Yeah. I would love him to be in the next Spider-Man film. It was kind of weird that he was bald at the end of the new one, but it was still nice having him in there.
Yeah, and obviously he does look a bit older, but he still plays the character just as well, which was lovely. I mean, everyone went mad for it, so thank God.
Doctor Strange, oh, that's pretty good, but it's taken.
But it's taken.
This is a good scene where he realizes that,
His wife is dead.
Yeah.
And,
that the arms are sort of communicating to him, I guess.
Yeah. And, it's funny, this is his life's work as well, so he's almost just as distraught about that, really. I mean,
Yeah. It's a bit convenient. He just finds this abandoned place, but yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what this place used to be. I mean, presumably it was like a warehouse or something, but yeah.
Yeah. The CGI on those
Arms.
yeah, oh my god, they still really hold up today. They actually look real. Like they don't really look CGI. Like
Yeah, actually, funny you say that. This film won an Oscar for visual effects. Would you believe?
well, deservedly so.
Yeah, I mean, of all the films in 2004, Spider-Man 2 was the one, which was in a way kind of surprising, but the effects are so good, really, really much improved than the first one.
Yeah, and yeah, those arms that he's got look really like lifelike. I mean, they almost don't look CGI, like because of the way they've textured the metal and everything. It looks like real metal, but yeah.
It almost looks like they have got a bit of rust on them as well after the explosion from the first scene that they're in.
Yeah.
I kind of like
Free toast.
the humor with this guy, like the banker, that she kicks him under the table, and then later on she stops him from stealing the coin. I mean, it is very cheesy, but it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Ow!
Free toaster.
I love the action in this film. The bank fight I always remembered as one of my favorite moments from the film when I first saw it.
Yeah, I love this. The bank robbery. It's great.
And this is another bit of evidence to suggest that she knows who he is. Because he just leaves her. Like, all of them.
We got a lot of money.
I mean, there was no point really in trying to disguise himself. He's the only one with like 4 arms on the back of his body.
Yeah. Oh, he's throwing the bag of money at him. Does he want to make Spider-Man rich?
Here's your change. We've watched nearly half the film already. It's really paced very well.
Oh, it's shit, really?
Yeah, 48 minutes.
Bloody hell. Wow. It moves by like a rocket.
Oh god, he's gonna crush his skull.
I have a knack for that. Yeah. I love the music as well.
Oh yeah, the score for this film is so good. Even better than the first one.
Yeah, I think you use that music there in one of your sketches or something.
I don't know if I've used it in a sketch, but I definitely used it for my Spider-Man 2 review. I'll just wait till we get to the train scene. Oh my god.
Yeah.
That is like one of the best action scenes ever in a superhero movie, and definitely the best action sequence in this film.
Per Aunt May, I mean, Green Goblin scares the shit out of her in the first one, and now she's being held hostage by Otto Octavius.
Yeah. I mean, the last time she nearly had a heart attack. This time, I suppose this time, this is nothing.
Yeah. Butterfingers.
I like that this film.
Sorry, go ahead.
I like that this film still has some of that cheese from the first one, but it's not quite as much. It's got a bit more seriousness to it. There's more. The story's a bit more dramatic, I think.
Yeah. Another shot of Stan Lee there.
Oh yeah.
It is a bit of a shame that in the first 2 Spider-Man films, all he does is sort of react in the crowd, but still nice to have him in there, like a nice cameo. But yeah.
Yeah, I think he was annoyed about it, so I think he wanted a slightly bigger cameo. So no wonder. I mean, he's the creator, so they gave him that much in Spider-Man 3, where he talks to Peter.
Yeah, that's true. He wasn't a fan of his cameos, I think, in the first 2, just because he was in the crowd doing nothing. But yeah,
he cameos in the Hulk movie as a security guard. Funnily enough, at the very start of the movie.
It's a shame he's gone now because I always love seeing his cameos in the MCU films.
The one thing you got to give Captain Marvel is that opening tribute to Stan Lee. That was lovely.
Yeah, that was great. Even though the film was crap in my opinion, but it was nice to have the tribute to Stan Lee at the start. That was great. Uh-oh.
Shame on you.
Whoa.
Aunt May puts up a good fight. You give her credit.
God, she's falling again.
I mean, dear God, the old woman. I mean, she's putting a lot of danger in these films.
I'm surprised she hasn't died yet, from the shock of falling. But,
yeah. I'm surprised she didn't die in the first one after the Green Goblin scared her as well. But she's a tough cookie.
Yeah. I suppose she's gotten used to it now.
Yeah. How does she not recognize his voice? Surely she used to think, oh, Peter. But no.
Yeah. What do you mean, we?
What do you mean, we? Oh. I like this scene. This is a really good moment. Like, little moments of comedy. Like, he can't even get a drink. He can't even get a bit of food. His best friend starts slapping him about, and then he finds out Mary Jane's going to marry someone else. It's just not a good evening for him.
Yep, definitely not.
And his camera doesn't work.
Oh.
Oh, don't worry, Gary. I'm sure your dad's trust fund will take care of everything.
Yeah. What's your problem? You're a fucking rich boy.
You fucking rich boy. You make me offer I can't refuse. I give Spider-Man for you. I'm surprised Harry didn't get the mafia of fucking New York to go after Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, that is true because the films are set in New York, so you just get Don Corleone or something on his ass.
I mean, it's funny because in the third film they see a painting of Norman. It's as if Norman was like Don Norman of of the Osborn household. We'll make Spider-Man an offer he can't refuse.
Oh yeah, we need to do an audio commentary in Godfather 2 and 3 at some point.
Yes, yeah, that would be brilliant. Well, if I can buy them back, then I will. Unless they're on Netflix, in which case I can watch them now. But
yeah, I'm sure you'll be able to find them cheap on Blu-ray and CX or something. But yeah.
Yeah, well, I think it's closed at the moment. But...
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know why she's with the astronaut, the son of,
Jameson.
J. Jonah Jameson. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like we never see this guy. The fact is, like, when did she meet him? Presumably through the theatre because he came to see her play. So he probably asked her out after that. But I mean, what is she seeing him? Oh, the fact that he can go to the moon. Please. There was a disturbance in the force.
She is being a bit of a bitch here. I don't know you.
But then the thing is also, Peter, I think, is coming across as a bit desperate by reading the poetry. And
it is.
He's trying to find a way of explaining himself, but he just can't.
It's a bit creepy as well, reading the poetry there. Like...
See, this is just... She's being a bit of a bitch here, I think. She's... there's a reason why he wasn't there,
Yeah. Sorry, but you're not the center of the universe, love.
Yeah. Actors. Oh, that's a bit low. Like, calling him nothing but an empty seat. That's... Oh, God.
Ooh. I'd say, well, fuck you, bitch. You know,
Yeah.
get
Oh,
off your fucking high horse.
yeah, exactly. He can't even get a drink now.
Yeah. He's just got bad luck.
Yeah, he's going through a bad time in his life.
Oh, come on, Harry. Just give him a break for fuck's sake.
Stole MJ from me. You stole my father's love. You let him die. You turned the freak into a crazy.
I mean, how is it Peter's fault?
Isn't that right?
Oh,
Isn't that right, brother?
what a dickhead.
Yeah, I think some of that is the booze, but yeah, Harry's just so angry in this film. He's really hell bent. Oh, Mary. Can't go one movie without a fucking proposal. Literally, Flash proposed to her in the first one.
God. Yeah, I mean, if Harry did that to me, I'd be like, I don't want to be your friend anymore. You slapped me in public twice, you dickhead.
Yeah. Said, oh yeah, because it's pissing me off your loyalty to Spider-Man and not your best friend. Where's that? What does that say? Literally, all Peter's doing is taking pictures. I know he's taking pictures of himself, but still, he's not trying to be disloyal to Harry.
Yeah, I mean, oh, he's run out of Spidey juice.
Well, he just found out Mary Jane was getting married, so his erection's gone down.
Oh God.
And I think Maguire really plays this scene well. The fact that he's discovering he's losing his powers, and then the next scene when he's losing his vision as well, and then he goes to the doctor about it. It's some really great dramatic acting from Maguire.
Yeah.
Oh.
Is the stress making him lose his powers? Is that it, or?
Yeah, I would put it down to that. They don't. I mean, it's not explicitly said, but I think it's just stress. He's struggling to balance his life.
He can't even see now. He needs his glasses again.
Yeah. You really feel for him in this film. You really just feel like he's like the absolute weight of the world is crushing down on him, but he can't do anything about it, which is sad.
Yeah. Oh, he likes a cigar.
Smoking
Is not good.
Yeah. Remember, smoking kills.
Bit of a weird transition, but
Say you can't sleep. Say you can't sleep. Heartbreak. There is one dream where in my dream, I'm a spider. I'm a spider losing my powers. I'm losing my powers. Fighting the wall.
why would you tell a doctor this?
Yeah, he tries to make it out like it's a dream, but I think the doctor's he's not an idiot. I think he probably is like, oh, okay, this guy probably is Spider-Man.
What about this? Why does he climb these walls?
It's amazing, actually, looking at the second film again. How it's very, very different to the first one. Totally, it's just. Well, I mean, the first one is emotional with the death of Uncle Ben. This one just seems much more grounded in reality, even though it's got still got some of that cheesy humor. But I think this one works better structurally, emotionally, and thematically. it comes together really well.
Yeah. I think the fact that it's better is because it is more emotional.
Yeah, like this scene with Uncle Ben as well. The flashback is, or the dream sequence. It's nice that they brought Cliff Robertson back.
Yeah. Is this like the last conversation he had with him, or one of them?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it could be, or it could be like a dream sequence. Maybe he's just hearing it inside his head, like this is what Uncle Ben would say to him. I don't really know. I suppose it's maybe left open to interpretation.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I definitely think Cliff Robertson is the best Uncle Ben. I mean, Martin Sheen tried, but the script was just terrible.
Yeah, the fact that they had to write the classic line, the great power comes great responsibility line, the fact that they had to rewrite that in a longer way where they tried to make it sound similar but different, like, just say the damn thing. You just say it the way it was. It was just much easier, you know. Not choice. Responsibility.
God.
Yeah, with
Just
great
say
power.
fucking line.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like you said, they're trying to make it sound different, but like the same, and it's just like, just say the bloody line, you know? Don't need this complicated version.
Oh, it's quite a sad moment actually when he throws the suit away in the bin.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's in the comic.
I think that's one of the images of the front cover of the Spider-Man No More comic, which they took inspiration from, clearly.
Yeah. I think it works, though.
And then we get
This
this.
scene is kind of weird. Yeah.
Just
Yeah, for Butch Cassidy in the...
Sorry.
His bed. No, it's all right. No, go ahead.
So falling on my head. It's such a bizarre change of scene, isn't it? That we go from Spider-Man No More to raindrops keep falling on my head. I was quite surprised when I watched this in the cinema. I was like, what? But it made me laugh.
Yeah, funnily enough, I was listening to the song earlier because I got it on my iPhone. But
Oh, really?
I mean, it's kind of weird because, I mean, it's a song from Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, but
And they
it's
used
kind of funny. That they
too.
used, yeah, yes. There's a scene in Butch Cassidy and Sundance Kid where they use this song. It's originally from that, and they use it in Spider-Man 2, which is a bit weird, but yeah.
But I suppose it's meant to reflect Peter's mood, the fact that he is feeling happier, the fact that he's cut something out of his life and he can actually find a work-life balance. And I think that's the important thing this film teaches, that sometimes you have to give up the things you want the most to achieve what you want and get yourself on track. And I think it's a great relatable story, and Peter's struggle is something anyone can relate to. It proves the point that you don't have to wear a costume to be a superhero. Like, I mean, everyone has to pay bills, everyone has to have jobs and study and do that, and especially someone of his age. But it is just such a fun sequence to watch, isn't it? The raindrops keep falling on my head.
Yeah, it works for the film. I mean, I think I prefer the scene in Butch Cassidy's Sundance Kid where they play the song, but I like it here as well. It works a lot. And I like this scene where she looks at the seat and she realizes Peter is there. But...
Yeah. I mean, were you listening to the song because of the commentary, or just generally?
Are you glad
Sorry.
are you glad to hear it?
Like, were you listening to the song because of this commentary, or just generally you were just casually listening to it?
No, I was just casually listening to it earlier on. It was I got it on my iPhone, and my iPhone was on shuffle, so it just went to that song. And it's kind of coincidence we're watching Spider-Man 2 tonight, and they play that song. But yeah. Funny coincidence. Yeah.
Shine my shoes, press my pants.
I mean, you got to admire the guy. He's still trying to. He thinks now that he's given up being Spider-Man and he can win her over and and stop her from getting married, which I suppose is a bit of a long shot.
Yeah.
Always imagine you
But she runs away at the altar. I mean, what a fucking bitch move.
Yeah. Again, it's like Mamma Mia. It's like, why wait till the actual fucking wedding day? If you're unsure about it, if you don't know, then just don't go through with it. Don't wait till the day. I know.
Not only that, but it's a waste of money, and not only that, but I mean, imagine the husband to be. You're just thinking, you fucking bitch. I loved you. You leave me at the altar like that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I know it's meant to be some kind of beautiful moment where she does realize that she will be with Peter, even though she knows she could get hurt. I guess she is an idiot then, but there you go.
Yeah. I like that he's talking to her and like trying to explain to her, but yeah, she is a bit of a bitch in Spider-Man 2.
Yeah. I think she's trying to get him to move on. The fact that, we never had anything, Peter. You said you didn't want to be with me, so yeah, that's it. I'm getting married, then you can't do anything about it.
You are different, yeah.
I mean, some people that don't like the film do criticize this part of the film. The fact, because he gets rid of the Spider-Man suit, they criticize this one for being boring, and the fact that it is a timekeeper. But I disagree with that, because I think you need to show the fact that he is struggling and he needs to give it up, and then he does have to earn it back. And yes, this period is sort of without him in the suit, but there's still enough drama.
I don't mind. I don't mind that, because I mean, there's some superhero fans who just want
a big action
person.
spectacle.
Yeah, they just want people hitting each other, and I kind of like the drama. Like he gives up as Spider-Man. He gives up Spider-Man because of all the shit in his life, and the fact that his powers aren't working, and gives him focus. I mean, I like that, but yeah.
Yeah. They also added another action scene with the building, the burning buildings. They add another sequence, but he's just Peter Parker. But still, it's a tense sequence, and the fact that he still tries to do what he used to do without the suit and without his powers. But I think it's important to give the movie this period for him to for his character journey.
Got her again.
Gone for Spider-Man. And as we see the sort of the fact that he's gone sort of has a knock-on effect of the crime rates and everything. But again, I mean, he needed to do it for his own mental health. I think that's another thing this movie does. It addresses his mental health. In fact, there's only so much one person can cope with. But I like that moment when he turns away and decides not to help the guy being beaten up, and see he's sort of guilty about it. But yeah, he knows he's not going to be able to help him.
Well, he could kick their shit in, but I guess they could suss out that he's Spider-Man. I don't know.
Yeah, but then his powers aren't working, are they? So I suppose they wouldn't think. But, oh,
I like the scene by the grave. Yeah.
See, the people that don't like this film don't appreciate these scenes. But this is some real emotional drama, and he chooses this day to tell her what really happened, and this is one of the most emotional scenes of the film, I think. And it only brings a tear to your eye when the fact that she doesn't say anything and she just leaves the room. And this is beautifully acted, I must say, by these two. Rosemary Harris, this is probably her best performance as well.
Yeah. No, I mean, talking about that bit where J. Jonah Jameson finds the suit, one scene that I did like that they added in the 2.1 cut is where he's got the Spider-Man suit on going around the office. I mean, that was quite funny, but I'm glad that they cut it out of the theatrical cut, because it would just be kind of weird and a bit jarring to have J. Jonah Jameson, going around the Spider-Man outfit. But
yeah.
I mean, it's kind of funny.
It is funny, but I think it was better left out of the film. It was a bit too silly, I think, for this film.
Yeah. I mean, stick it in the extended cut, so that's fine. But yeah.
I love the fact that this is all softly spoken. It's not overdone. It's not like Peter's not crying this out. He's just. There's a lot of solemn in his voice, I think, and I think Maguire's brilliant in this scene. I have to say.
Yeah, I agree.
But it's funny because obviously now in the third film they realised that there was another perpetrator in Uncle Ben's death, Flint Marco, which is ironic, but yeah. You there, Jack? Okay, I'm not sure where Jack has gone, but I'll assume he's going to be back in a minute. But I mean, this is generally such a moving scene. The way that she just looks in horror and listens in horror into what he's saying, what he's telling her. The fact that he's sort of kept this from her for so long, and she can't quite process it. And
Yeah.
Oh, well, hello, Jack. You're back. Good.
Imagine George Lazenby was Spider-Man. He couldn't really act that bit.
No, I don't think he could. I just love that she just leaves the room and doesn't say anything. In some ways, silence is a bit more powerful than sheer, crying or all of that. Yeah.
Oh, did he tell her that he was at the wrestling ring?
Yeah, we've just passed that scene. I don't know if you were actually listening or if you were gone, but yeah, we just passed that scene.
No, I was next door just getting something, and then I came back.
No problemo. It is, convenient. He manages to find a space to build his machine again, and he finds the materials to build the machine again.
Yeah. A bit obsessive, Harry?
Yeah, I was just thinking, do you think Harry's become a bit psychotic? The fact that he's become so obsessed with finding this guy who actually hasn't killed his dad, but yeah, the butler could have told him then, but he did not.
Yeah, that is one stupid thing. He waits to the fucking third movie until he says, "Oh, the wounds were self-inflicted." Why didn't you say that as soon as the father died?
Yeah.
Instead of waiting
fair
all
enough.
the time.
If you'd have said it earlier and Harry didn't believe it, fine, that would be different. I would understand that. And then in the end, Harry would have to believe what happened. But the fact that he leaves it till so long, it is stupid. And I do actually agree with a lot of people when they say that Harry should have been told a lot sooner.
Yeah. Oh, there's Doc Ock.
Hello, Harry. What do you want?
Whiskey. Oh yeah, that's it. They have the element that he needs for the machine. So.
Did he say he was a hack?
Yeah. Yeah. Hag.
I love the way Doc Ock just grabbed the glass and then had a drink.
Yeah.
with the arm.
He makes him an offer he can't refuse. It's now Don Harry, not Don Norman.
If you'll find Spider-Man, I'll kick your ass.
Oh, he does care about Peter.
You say don't kill Peter.
He says, "Don't hurt Peter."
Yeah.
75%.
Spider-Man. Spider-Man and Peter Parker the same man.
In fact, 75%. Has crime really gone up that much? I mean, it seems a bit radical, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's a bit silly, but it is a film, I guess.
Mm.
I suppose the criminals think, oh, Spider-Man's no longer there. We can just commit all these crimes and get away with it.
I mean, for one thing, it just highlights that the police are fucking useless.
Yeah.
This is quite an intense scene, actually. It's one of the surprising action scenes of the film, I think.
Whoa.
Ooh. It's actually, I think, better than the previous burning building scene from the first one.
Yeah, I agree with you, yeah.
The
It's
only
kind
thing I
of
will
dramatic
say,
as well,
though,
because he's not Spider-Man, he's just Peter Parker.
yeah, he doesn't have his powers, so he can only be himself and do what he can. I mean, the fact that he does save this girl, and the parents don't even thank him, like, geez, I mean, you know, if that were my kid, I'd be hugging and kissing the guy. I mean, you know, they just seem to kind of ignore him.
I'd be buying him a pint, you know.
Yeah, and I'd buy them a whole crate.
I mean, you want to give him a reward or something, you know.
We give you a reward if you rescue our daughter. They use the exact same music as well from the first one for this scene.
Oh, shit.
Oh yeah, no thanks then.
Yeah, no, thank you, you know.
Yeah.
I cannot refuse a request on my daughter's wedding day, Spider-Man. Thank you for saving her.
Oh, sad. Like, I think in a way he went into that building for himself because he missed he misses being Spider-Man, and he wishes he could have been able to do more with his powers, but he just can't.
You know, it's kind of similar to Superman 2 as well, where like in that film, Superman can't be with Lois because he's Superman. And it's sort of the same situation here with Peter Parker and Spider-Man 2. You know, he can't, be with Mary Jane because he's Spider-Man and, his life's always in danger. And, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think I lost some milk.
In the third one, we got that stupid haircut, acting like a dick.
Yeah, which everybody calls emo Peter, which, yeah, I kind of understand. But it's kind of cute actually that this girl has a crush on him. But she's such a brief character. So, yeah.
I mean, bloody hell, she's so skinny as well.
Yeah, I think she's slightly anorexic. I think if anything, she should have eaten that chocolate cake.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Years ago, that was sort of the typical kind of fashion. Skinnier girls sort of were seen as more desirable, per se. But nowadays, that's not really true. All the girls like to stick their asses out, shall we say, for the camera.
Funnily enough, I think years ago, it was fashionable to be fat. It showed that you were wealthy, so a lot of women were fat. But yeah,
Lumpa, dumpa doo. What are you at? Getting terribly fat. What do you think will come of that?
yeah. God, Spider-Man meets Willy Wonka.
God.
To a world of pure imagination.
Living there, you'll be free. Explanation. This is a nice scene. I love it that she forgives him for what he just told her the truth about what happens. I mean, I guess, it's all in the past. Uncle Ben's dead. There's not much they can really do to change the past. So,
Oh,
yeah.
by the way, I accidentally helped kill the guy who killed Uncle Ben, but never mind.
Yeah, failed to mention that, but yeah.
Yeah.
Although Peter gets angry when he finds out about Flint Marco. He's like, "Oh, we chased down the wrong man,"
The guy accidentally killed himself anyway in the first one. The guy who's chasing after him.
Inadvertently caused that, but yeah.
Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. With Spider-Man not being around, does that mean Peter's technically out of work with the photography thing? Like, he's probably not being asked to do many pictures because Spider-Man's not around, and he doesn't work for the pizza delivery company anymore. So, I wonder how he's affording to live.
Is it this one or the next one where he says, "Oh, a couple of guys playing chess in a park, you're fired"?
I think so. Or no, no, it might be this one actually. A hero. I mean,
Batman.
Man, God. But Aunt May must know Peter is Spider-Man. I mean, just judging by this speech. And I think she knows, for whatever reason, he's decided to quit. But she's, inadvertently saying, you gotta get back on the horse and you have to be there for everyone.
But there's a hero in all of us, and I want to be a hero and fucking spin some webs.
When a hero comes along with his strength to carry on.
Let me tell you something, Joey Zaza. If someone's come around this city saying, "Fuck Michael Corleone," what do we do with a piece of shit like that? He's a fucking dog.
Brother, if you don't like Spider-Man, you are going down. This is dangerous. I mean, geez, like, is he trying to kill himself? Like, he's trying to test the waters and see if his powers come back, but why do it on top of a building, for God's sake?
Well, maybe he's suicidal.
Nah. But he's not been coping very well recently, let's say that.
What would you do an edit of this in Charts of Fire? Because it like goes into slow motion.
I wonder if anyone has done that, I think this film is also a better shot than the first one, and the cameras they've used are clearly a bit better.
I'm flying!
I'm back! I'm amazed he doesn't die.
An idiot. What a fucking idiot. That is sheer dumb luck. If, he didn't catch on to that line, he'd have been fucking dead.
Yeah. I'm amazed he's still walking, really. I mean, God.
He just hit the top of that car. And I'm surprised back isn't fucking broken.
Yeah, well, I think it is.
Yeah, you need the hospital straight away if his back's broken.
Mm. So she invites Aunt May, but not Peter. What a bitch.
You know, that actor kind of looks like the guy played Han Solo in Solo.
Oh, Alden Ehrenreich, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think it's the same guy, but yeah, I can see what you're saying though. This is like the only scene we actually see this guy. Like, he never appears again in the film until the very end when they get married, or well, they're supposed to get married.
I kind of feel bad for him because, like, Mary Jane, I mean, what is it with her and men? You know, one minute she's with a guy, the next minute she's not. You know.
Yeah. God, you know, I mean, it's like next you want to have a fucking relationship with Aunt May. I mean, at this rate, yeah, she'll just date everyone.
She's fucking Doc Ock and his giant arms.
Well, once she gets her tentacles around him, there's no stopping her.
They're an all-time high.
Now she's thinking, oh, maybe I love Peter.
Could you imagine Doc Ock sleeping with Spider-Man? Like, Spider-Man's like, oh, forgive me for my curiosity, but what is that? That's my little octopus.
Lol. That would be funny. And now she's being all chummy with him. Oh, I don't get her. Like, the last time that he saw her, she told him to fuck off, basically. And now she's like, come and have a coffee with me. I've got something to tell you. Okay. I think he's just too soft on her, you know. I just think he's too in love with her. He can't see the other side to her, really.
Right. She treats him like shit. I mean, if I was him, I'd be like, no, go get a coffee yourself, you know.
Move on, yeah. I mean, I'm not saying she's a bad person. She's not a bad person. She's just very stuck up and indecisive when it comes to men. And inconsiderate at times, but she's not a bad person.
Yeah, I mean, you can see why Peter loves her. I mean, because, you know, she is pretty good looking.
Yeah, but I don't know if that's all he sees now, like, or whether he sees anything else. The fact, I mean, because I think she has a flawed personality. She's not a gem. I mean, you know.
Yeah. Well, then again, are any of us gems?
Yeah, that's true. She just wants the truth. She's like, do you love me? Because I need to know.
No, I don't love you. You're a fucking bitch.
Yeah, I guess he realizes that, you know, I might. Well, she's getting married, so I can't really say I love her, you know.
Do you love me?
Love me, love me, love. And then she's like, kiss me. What the fuck? She's sending him so many mixed signals here.
Yeah.
Like, look, you can see the
his hand.
Yeah. You can see she's wearing an engagement ring, for God's sake. You know, Mary Jane's such a player.
Are you getting married or are you in love with Peter?
Yeah, you can't do both.
Whoa.
I must admit, that is a really good effect in slow motion.
It's a great scene, but how did she not know he's Spider-Man to have reflexes like that?
Yeah, well, I think he got his spidey senses back. Because I think he got his boner back as well. I mean, one other criticism I'll say is another cliche to have Mary Jane kidnapped again, you know.
Yeah. I love the way the camera zooms in when you hear the stomps.
Yeah. And the girlfriend.
To find your friend, Spider-Man. Tell him to meet me at the West Side Tower.
Yeah.
3 o'clock.
Spider-Man is closer than you think.
Find him. Or I'll peel the flesh off her bones.
Whoa.
It's actually tragic to see Octavius reduced to that. You know, he was such a nice guy.
Wait, does he know that he's Spider-Man?
No, because he just said, "I want you to find your friend Spider-Man. Tell him to meet me at the Tower
Alright.
3." But I mean, he finds out at the end, obviously. But yeah, because Harry said to him, "Peter takes pictures of Spider-Man for the Bugle." But yeah,
But what I want to know is, why does he even need to like kidnap Mary Jane?
I think he's doing it so, you know, he's forcing him. I think it's a way of blackmail. I think, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just to have Mary Jane kidnapped. I mean, it's just an excuse, isn't it? You know.
It's kind of funny that his vision goes blurred with the glasses on.
Yeah.
Oh,
Now his power's getting back. Oh, you won't
there
like
he is.
Lee.
Oh God. Imagine if he turned into Ang Lee's Hulk.
Yeah. Your son's fiance. Yeah, you don't know her name. Her name's Mary Jane. She was an actress. I mean, surely she had some notoriety.
Yes.
Was a hero.
You'll never see Jameson defend Spider-Man again after that.
Yeah.
It's funny, actually. J.K. Simmons wore false teeth. And he actually, every time he said that word, thief, like the teeth would come out. There's some outtakes. It's really quite funny, actually.
Why did he wear false teeth?
I don't know. Maybe his teeth aren't completely white, but yeah.
I want Spider-Man. I love
This
that.
was awesome. I mean, I remember seeing this in the cinema, and I wanted to cheer that he was back. Like, I couldn't, obviously, because I was next to my family, but what a great moment.
I just love that bit where he's like, Spider-Man was a good guy, and then like the next minute,
He was a thief.
yeah.
She'll be just fine.
Let's talk. Woo!
This fight scene is so good, and it's especially brilliant when they get on the train as well.
This is such a great film.
I mean, it's already 10 times better than the first one. I mean, bearing in mind that we both really liked the first one as well.
Yeah, that's true. I love this fight scene here as well. The action in this film, I think, is better than the first one as well.
Yeah, we've only got like half an hour left of the film.
Whoa, shit. I mean, for me, this is easily the best Spider-Man film.
This is so good. And the music in this scene is fantastic.
This train fight, like seeing it in the cinema, was just awesome.
I mean, considering, the film hasn't had action for quite a while, they went all out with this, and I'm so glad they did.
Yeah.
Also, the fact that they get the people on the train involved as well. Like when he starts throwing them around, and then when Spider-Man has to stop the train. It's just an incredible
Yeah. The spidey senses are tingling.
I can feel your boner.
Yeah.
Seriously, none of the films after this would ever have an action scene this good. None of the films after this would ever be that good. I mean, nothing compares to Spider-Man 2 for me.
Yeah. I mean, some people say that Homecoming's the best and whatever, but I mean, I have to disagree. I mean, for me, Spider-Man 2 is easily the best. You know, so
Yeah.
people kind of dismiss. So people kind of dismiss the Raimi films, and I don't know why, because I think they're great. Even Spider-Man 3, I think, is underrated. But...
I agree. I mean, at least Spider-Man 3 has dramatic weight, unlike I mean, the Tom Holland movies are good, but they don't have any dramatic weight.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the problem as well. Like, I think Raimi really understood that Spider-Man sort of needed that dramatic weight. Like, I mean, the Tom Holland ones are good films, but they feel more like jokey sort of high school films than they do Spider-Man.
And they are good. I won't knock them. They are fun. And Tom Holland is a great Spider-Man, Peter Parker. And they are part of the MCU, so they're sort of loaded with references and all that. But I mean, you know, they're fun movies. But I would always take the Raimi ones. Even the third Raimi movie, I would take over Tom Holland's movies, especially Andrew Garfield's ones.
Yeah.
I mean, why would it end there?
I suppose the reason he took his mask off is because it got burnt and he had to take it off. So.
Yeah. I mean, I never liked that he took his mask off, but I don't mind it in this scene because, as you said, the mask gets burned, so he doesn't really have a choice.
Yeah. Either he kept the mask on or it would burn his face off. Oh.
It's just so intense.
I suppose as well, like, none of these people know who he is in real life, so
Hey, like, yeah. Whoa.
Whoa.
Oh shit, I thought it was gonna fall off there.
Caused a bit of property damage, didn't you, Spider-Man, ripping those buildings?
Yeah. No buildings were harmed in the making of this film. This gave me chills when I first saw it.
Whoa. How he's able to hold that together without ripping himself in half is amazing.
He's obviously got super strength. I mean, wow.
Yeah. Yeah, seeing this scene in the cinema was just great.
I mean, his scream is oh my god, it's so intense.
Yeah. It's one of my favourite scenes of the whole film. The way he's able to save the train.
Mm. And the fact that it nearly rips his suit as well, that's... Oh my god, you can see how much strength he's using.
Yeah.
He's used literally all his energy to do that.
Yeah. I love the way they sort of save him.
You know, they sort of carry him and lay him down, which is nice. I suppose it is a bit cheesy, but
I think there's like Jesus imagery here or something, but yeah.
Yeah. Considering that the press paint a bad picture of him, I mean, I think, you know, this is rather nice that the public do actually do something nice for him for once.
I'd just be worried someone took a picture of me.
Yeah.
Just a kid. No older than my son.
Oh.
People love their Spidey.
Yeah. I like the fact that the kid, those two boys, actually give him his mask back, and they say it's nice to have you back, and you know, it's nice. It's a nice moment for Peter. It feels a bit of gratification for once.
Much they gave them like their own fan-made Spider-Man mask.
Oh yeah. We won't tell no one. It's like how they just knew that he didn't want anyone to know about his identity.
Well, I think they probably knew because that's why he wears a mask.
Yeah.
More like Spider Kid.
Yeah. He's just a kid. No older than my son. So Doc Ock just was waiting the whole time.
Yeah, a kid who looks like 30 years old.
You want to get to him, you got to go through me.
That guy's part of the mafia, surely. That big fella at the front.
Yeah. I know, that's what I was thinking. He looks like a mafia guy.
Yeah. You want to go through me?
Very well.
He looks like somebody from Sopranos.
He's part of Don Harry Osborne's mafia group of New York.
You're talking to me, Dr. Octopus.
Nice transition. They zoom into the symbol on his costume and into Harry's mansion.
It is a bit cliche the way there's like thunder outside, you know, like.
Yeah, really just trying to set the mood. I think Sam Raimi was. He wasn't being discreet with that, was he?
Not being very subtle.
Yeah. But these films get away with it, though, I think.
Yeah. I love the way it just knocks him out of the way, like, it's mine.
Yes, my precious.
When he finds out it's Peter as well, I mean, that's a pretty dramatic moment.
Yeah, I remember they showed some of this in the trailer. Just before he pulled the mask off, they then cut away from it. I was looking forward to this scene when I first saw it. And, yeah. I mean, you could just see the shock in Harry's face when he realizes, like, Peter takes pictures of himself.
Yeah. I remember that bit in the trailer as well, where they cut away from it, where he put to take the mask off.
Look into your eyes as you die.
But yeah, because he has the knife and it's like his best friend.
Oh, shit.
Can't be.
This is the most dramatic
Why
one
don't-
of the three.
You know, I don't understand. Why didn't he just burst out of the thing earlier and like not let him take the mask off?
MJ.
I don't know. Weird thing.
Making a machine again.
Still dramatic though that he finds out that his best friend,
I belong to
Spider-Man, and he despises Spider-Man.
You killed my father. Well, no, he didn't actually, but yeah.
There are bigger things happening here. Things happening me and you. Harry.
He should have just said I didn't, but I suppose Harry wouldn't believe him.
Yeah. It's funny how, I mean, we'll obviously see a bit more into that in Spider-Man 3, but yeah. I love the look on James Franco's face. It's like he's about to break down. Like, you know, because this is his best friend, you know?
Yeah. Oh,
I can't let you go. You'd bring the police. Anybody could stop.
Kirsten Dunst looks, yeah. Her eyes are bulging out in that dress.
Yeah. Well, they do say that the redheads are the ones with the most fiery temper. Although she's technically a ginger in this film.
It's like a miniature sun he's creating or something like that.
The power of the sun in the palm of my hand.
God. Imagine if Superman came, Nuclear Man came out of that sun.
Yeah, he'd scratch Spider-Man with his nails.
Well, I'm not.
I laughed when we did our Superman hangout when you said, "Oh look, Superman's is being defeated by a pedicure."
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, an overly aggressive pedicure.
Yeah. I mean, are fingernails on a villain supposed to be scary?
Yeah. Oh, stop screaming.
Hang on, Mary Jane. I just love the way he punches him in the face after he says that. Whoa!
Ooh. It's a good finale.
Oh.
The fact is, the film does take that time when he's not Spider-Man, but then they make up for it with the third act of the film. Like from the train fight to the end, there's a lot more action in the film. So
Yeah.
I think the film has plenty of action, but I'm glad that it chose to focus on telling the story more than spectacle.
Yeah, I'm glad as well, because I mean, it's good to have some drama in a superhero film instead of just people hitting each other for like 90 minutes. That's a problem that Man of Steel has. It focuses more on the action than it does the story.
And that's what appeals to me more about these films, and the fact that I grew up with them, and why I loved them when I was younger, because I did like the fact that they were dramatic and they had an emotional story. And actually, in all three of them, even the third film, but it's amazing how Dr. Octopus survived that electric shock.
I love that way that thing is like a magnet.
Yeah.
Realizes the error of his ways.
It's a very sad.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was like, this is a very sad scene when Dr. Octopus dies. He chooses to sacrifice his life's work because he knows it's going to destroy the world, and he's got nothing left to live for, so he'll just die with it.
We must destroy it.
Brilliant but lazy. Oh shit.
You once spoke to me about intelligence. That it was a gift to be used for the good of mankind. Privilege. These things have turned you into something you're not. Don't listen to that.
Sort of dawns on him that he's telling the truth.
Sometimes
Yeah.
to do what's right, we have to be steady and give up the thing we want to give up.
Give up what we want the most.
Even our dreams.
Can you imagine he just like snapped his neck and that was it?
Yeah. I pay you good money for that, Dr. Octopus. I mean, to be fair, his goals weren't actually to dominate the world. His goals were to just sustain fusion reaction and provide just renewable energy for the whole world. So he had very interesting goals, and he was a scientist. And he fell from grace. It's a tragic story. I think he's the most tragic villain of the trilogy, really. Aside, I think Harry would be the next one. I think.
And drown it.
That's the thing with the villains. They're so complex characters, and Dr. Octopus is, he's a good guy, and I like what he does. He proves that at the end.
This is a great moment here.
Peter, you're Spider-Man! Boner increasing. Oh god, and here comes the best meme in the world. I'm sorry, but that scream. It was so funny. Oh, that was just hilarious.
That scream has become a meme as well.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, the scene's lovely, but yeah, that moment is just... It's a bit over the top. I think the scream...
there was that funny Bonds parody, like Casino Royale, and like got Daniel Craig driving the car and Vesper on the road, and he's like, "No!"
Oh yeah, they used the Tobey Maguire scream from Spider-Man. Spider-Man 2 provided quite a few memes, actually. J. Jonah Jameson's laugh has become a meme as well. In a way, it kind of kills that dramatic moment, doesn't it? When she realizes he's Spider-Man.
Yeah. I love you, Mary Jane.
And yeah, to have that moment where it's kind of the music's swelling up, and then it goes.
I love that line from Dr. Octopus. I won't die a monster. It's great.
Yeah.
Whoa!
Whoopsie daisy. Oh.
I remember that scene in the cinema where he's falling like that into the water. It's
amazing how the film makes you care so much about the guy who is supposed to be the antagonist of the story, and he's he dies tragically with his life's work, and he could never achieve what he set out to do, which was a real shame. But yeah, what great writing for this film.
yeah. So, Peter, you spin webs?
No, but I shoot them. Well, if you had your suspicions, why did you just say something? I mean, geez. So now you know why he didn't want to be with you at the end of the first one.
If he was Superman, he would just kiss her and make her forget that he was Spider-Man.
Yeah. I can't remember. In the second one, he's forced to take kryptonite, isn't he, to save Lois Lane, isn't he?
Oh, in the second one?
In Superman 2, doesn't he lose his power? He has to take. He either has to take kryptonite or someone jabs him with kryptonite and he loses his power temporarily, but he manages to save Lois because of it.
Yeah, he gives up his powers and then to be human with her, and then he gets his powers back, and he basically says, I can't be with you because I'm Superman, and she's upset about it, and then he wipes her memory of it. But yeah.
Oh yeah, that was tragic. Oh yeah, hello, random guy that we never see. My son, the astronaut. Yeah, that guy.
That looks like a young Harrison Ford.
Yeah. Do you not take this man to be your lawful wedded husband?
And maybe they went to Walmart after this.
Oh God! Don't start me off. I'm gonna start laughing again.
Got that Blade Runner hangout.
You may fuck the bride.
He's going to shoot more webs.
Considering this film came out in 2004, I agree with you that the effects managed to hold up actually, which is very good.
Uh-oh.
Spaghetti.
Harry's still pissed.
Harry.
Just get over it, Harry. Your dad's dead, but Spider-Man didn't kill him.
Yeah. Literally, all he saw Spider-Man lay him down on the bed. Why would that make him think that he killed him? Yeah. I don't know. But, yeah. You should fire your butler because he kept that crucial piece of information from you for over 2 years.
Son, I'm here.
It's interesting they brought Willem Dafoe back for this.
Yeah, it's a nice little cameo, and it's a nice way to kind of tie the story in a bit and kind of prelude Spider-Man 3 as well.
It's my best friend. My best friend. Not your father. You are always weak. You'll always be weak until you take control.
How is his father talking to him though? I don't get this. Like, is it just some kind of vision he's having or something? Or
I think he is. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, his father is dead. It's just a vision in the mirror. Because you know how Norman, in the first one, he talked to himself in the mirror, and that was all kind of in his head. Yeah.
he must be crazy like his dad.
Yeah. It's weird, though, because when Harry takes the gas in the third film, and yet he doesn't seem to go as crazy as Norman. He just seems to be the same, just kind of more angry. And, yeah, so I don't get what the point of taking the gas was, really.
Yeah.
This is a good scene, though. It's a nice sort of cliffhanger for Harry's story.
Yeah, setting up the third film.
I think the music here is really good as well.
Yep. Why don't you just decide to sell everything?
Yeah. Suppose it's all sort of like it's a weaponized thing, like the glider and the pumpkin bombs. You can only sell it really to the military. And then again, you know, Harry didn't know about it, so yeah.
You had to wait for the fucking wedding day to run away at the altar.
Wow, she looks happy.
You look really happy to get married, love.
I know they do this in films to make it sort of more dramatic, the fact that the wedding day is where it all goes wrong. But I just think this is too cruel a move on Mary Jane's part. I think she just, you know, should have cancelled the wedding and just gone to his apartment, and that would have been it. Like, rather than do this to her fiance, who we barely see. But yeah. Yeah. She's fired. Yeah. And and what a bitch move. The fact that she tells her friend to give him the note, you know, to say, I'm sorry, I'm in love with Peter, you know.
And on the fucking wedding day.
Yeah, when he's waiting at the fucking altar, you know.
Yeah.
Jameson. He looks pissed. He looks fucking angry with.
Yeah. I mean, he probably drank some Jameson after that.
Yeah. Oh, God.
This is just kind of weird. The music and the way she's running, she's so happy. Like,
I think it's meant to be all sappy and romantic, isn't it? But it's just really cruel on her part. I mean, obviously we want her and Peter to be together. That's fine, but yeah, I think it was a bit too much to actually put the wedding on. You know, but whatever.
I suppose Raimi did it for like sort of dramatic. You know, to get more like, oh look, she loves him so much that she'll abandon this guy, the altar to Peter.
Yeah, I guess it makes him wonder, oh, if I got married to her, I hope she doesn't ditch me at the altar.
Yeah.
I mean,
She loves him so much that she runs away from the wedding.
I just love Peter so much. In a way,
Ooh.
don't you think that she's kind of an idiot? Because she knows that he's Spider-Man, and she knows that he's going to come across enemies, and she's going to be in danger again. I know she loves the guy, but surely she's putting herself at risk. It's her own fault, really.
Yeah, and you know, she's already been in terrible situations a few times already, so it's like, you know, she must think to herself, oh fuck it, I don't care if I lose my life, you know, as long as I'm with Peter.
Yeah. And the fact is, Peter was treated like shit by her in this film. And I think that she should owe him an apology, first of all. And I think she should see, you know, I mean, the reason why he did what he did, why he said no, because I want to protect you. You'd be a danger. You'd be put in danger if I was with you. But, well, I guess you do crazy things when you're in love.
Whoa, passionate kiss. the husband to be is probably thinking, "Why didn't you kiss me like that, you bitch?"
Go get him, Tiger. Isn't it funny that's the last line of the film?
Tiger Man.
It's the eye of the tiger. I mean, it's nice that they ended it with him swinging off at the end. Which, I mean, the effects look a lot cleaner in this film. And there's actually a lot more. You talked about this in the last commentary, the fact that there's no weight to him swinging around, the lack of physicality. But they fixed that problem in this film. You believe that he's like literally throwing his weight to swing himself in the air.
Yeah. In the first one, he was a bit of a rubber spider.
A bit like Pierce Brosnan. Oh, sorry, I mean Action Man.
Yeah, when he was windsurfing.
I mean, that ending shot, you can see MJ's like, I hope this was the right decision.
Yeah. Well, you better hope it's the right decision. You left the guy at the fucking altar.
Yeah. There we go. That was Spider-Man 2. And quite simply, fan-bloody-tastic.
Really? I thought it was crap.
Do you want to give your summary first, as I went first last time? So,
no, I just think Spider-Man 2 is a great film. Great action in there, great drama, with Mary Jane and his aunt and everything, and I think the villain's great. Alfred Molina as Otto Octavius, Doc Ock. I mean, it's great. I mean, so many great scenes. Like, I love the fight in the train, and when Peter stops the train, and I like the drama as well, and I like the fact that Peter, he's got all this stuff going on in his life that he has to, balance out, and he's finding it hard to do that. And I like the stuff with Harry as well. Like when he finds out that Peter is it's Spider-Man, and he's going to have to struggle with that in the next film. But yeah, I mean, I think for me, it's easily the best of the Raimi trilogy. I think it improves upon the first one in every way. In terms of action, story, drama, CGI is better than the first one. Like, it feels like Spider-Man is an actual person swinging around the city instead of just like a rubber CGI character. And no, it's a great film. And it's probably still my favorite Spider-Man film. And I remember seeing it in the cinema as a kid and loving it. And for me, it's still the best of the Spider-Man films. Of all the Spider-Man films. So yeah, I mean, I'll probably close off by giving it a 10 out of 10.
Fantastic. Oh, well, what do you think of Tobey Maguire in this film, and also the film score as well?
I think Tobey Maguire's great, and I think he gives a better performance than he did in the first one. He's got more to do, and I think he's really great here. And the score is great as well. I love the soundtrack, but yeah.
Well, thank you, Jack. Thank you. It was a joy to watch this one again with you. I pretty much agree. Spider-Man 2 is a phenomenal sequel, and to me, it is the best of the Sam Raimi trilogy and my favorite Spider-Man film, and one of my favorite superhero films. I grew up with this film, and I always love it. I mean, yeah, there are slight nitpicks I have with it. I think Mary Jane is written to be a little bit too harsh in the film. I think they could have toned her character down a bit. It's nothing against Kirsten Dunst. I think as an actress, she performs the part very well, but she just comes across as a bit too much of a bitch, and also she's a little cruel towards the Jameson's son, the guy she's supposed to be marrying. I mean, I understand why Raimi chose to do it that way. I suppose to make it more romantic and to have it kind of be more dramatic. But yeah, I really like the story. The fact that it's sort of a relatable continuation, sort of coming of age story of the first one, and the fact that Peter Parker is just stressed. He's having a midlife crisis, and he can't keep his life together, and he has to give up being Spider-Man because he's just so stressed. And I think Maguire nails it, really. And Tobey Maguire nails it in this film. I think he's still my favorite Spider-Man. He will always be the best Spider-Man for me. And this is a terrific sequel. And I think he has so many emotional moments in this film. And I love the scene when him and Aunt May are talking and he tells her about the wrestling ring. It's just terrific stuff. And, this dealing with the Spider-Man No More stuff is really good. And also the some of the cheesier elements are quite fun. The humor is really good. J. Jonah Jameson is hilarious once again. And the raindrops keep falling on my head scene is just hilarious as well. I love that. The action sequences are superb. I like the burning building scene, the demonstration scene. Particularly, I like the bank fight sequence, which is really well done, and the train fight, which I adore. I mean, that train sequence is just so good. It's my favorite action scene of the film, and it's one of my favorite action scenes in any superhero movie. And it's really terrific to watch. And the finale, of course, is obviously really good. I like Aunt May in the film, as I already talked about the reveal of the Uncle Ben thing scene, but the fact that she gets involved in the action as well is quite something. The fact that Rosemary Harris, who is an elderly lady, does do her fair share, and she puts up a good fight against Dr. Octopus, so good for her. And speaking of which, the villain, Dr. Octopus, Alfred Molina, is just terrific. He puts on an American accent for the role, and he does a rather good job, I think, and he does a great job of nailing the kind of tortured soul, the fact that he was a nice guy who fell from grace and tried to achieve something of the impossible, and it ended up backfiring, and he lost his wife, and he fell under the corruption of the arms. And that hospital scene, freaking hell! I mean, that is really freaky, but it's a very effective scene, I will say. I also love the drama surrounding Harry and the reveal that Peter is Spider-Man that comes to him at the end, and then the end of the film where he discovers his father's goblin lair, I guess I could say, which obviously sets up Spider-Man 3, which is all very good. I love the film score. The soundtrack is brilliant as always. I mean, there are some silly, cheesy moments here, but it's all fun. It's all good. And Spider-Man 2 is a fantastic film, and Raimi's direction is on point. And again, some of the humorous moments is brilliant. Also, I love the opening of the film where we see Peter going to the pizza delivery and working for Mr. Aziz. Gore! Also love the introduction of Kirk Connors, although he's not really in it very much. We'll see him a bit more in Spider-Man 3. What else is there? I've nearly forgotten. I was going to say something. Fuck. I forgot what I was going to say. But, I mean, anyway, the title sequence as well. I like the title sequence as well. I think it's better than the first, and love the sort of artwork and drawings of the images from the first film, which are there. And, of course, the soundtrack is brilliant. And it really is a terrific film, a fantastic sequel, and I give it a 10 out of 10 as well. I can't really find much wrong with it, other than perhaps Mary Jane is a little bit too much of a bitch in the film. But yeah, so that's kind of it, really. I mean, now we move on to the third and final film of Sam Raimi's trilogy, Spider-Man 3, which came out 3 years later in 2007, and unfortunately was the last film to star Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man. They had planned to do a fourth one, but sadly things didn't go that way because Sony wanted to keep the rights to the character, and then they decided to reboot the series in 5 years. Yeah, but so yes,
maybe one day we'll comment on those films. Well,
God, yeah, I have to force myself to rewatch the Amazing Spider-Man duology, I guess I should say, because there's only 2 films, but. Yeah, I mean,
terrible films.
They are terrible films, but at least we agree on Spider-Man 2 and Sam Raimi's trilogy. But next time we'll be commentating on Spider-Man 3. We will do that at some point, and I think that will be quite fun actually, because Spider-Man 3 is probably the weakest of the trilogy, but there's a lot of interesting things to talk about in that film. And I think us two will kind of jump in and defend that one a little bit more than some people do. It is regarded as a mess and it is hated on. I think partly because Spider-Man 2 was so good. But I really think Spider-Man 3 is a lot better than people say. But yeah, thanks for listening to our commentary on Spider-Man 2, and we hope you enjoyed it. And as for the extended edition, I'm personally not really a fan of it. I mean, the extra 8 minutes that they add in, I don't think are really necessary. Some parts are quite amusing, like Jameson wearing the Spider-Man suit and a couple of extra action moments, but I always saw the film in the theatrical cut, and that's the way I prefer it. I just prefer it that way. But the Blu-ray for Spider-Man has both versions. So if you do prefer the extended edition, then go ahead, because it is on the Blu-ray. If you don't have Blu-ray and have DVD, you will have to buy the extended edition separately. But never mind. So anyway, Jack, is there anything you want to say before we finish up?
No, just that I've enjoyed the commentary, and yes, it's been a lot of fun. I look forward to Spider-Man 3 whenever we do that. Yes,
well, thank you very much for coming. It's always a pleasure, and thanks to Sam Harrison for being the only person in the live chat. Thanks for that, Sam. But yes, until next time. And Spider-Man 3, obviously the last film of this series, very sad. So we will talk about that next time. So yeah, that's it from me. I'm done. I'm gonna head to bed. But I'm Ollie, this is Jack, and we'll see you next time for Spider-Man 3. See ya.